finally seen a true follow-up, an actual spiritual successor to the Clock Tower games. I've been waiting for this time to come for such a long-ass time. Considering the fact that I'm a big-time fan of all things survival horror, anything that has monsters in it, anything that has gore in it, anything that's just like a big-time fucking bloodbath with all sorts of fucking like demonic demons and fucking all sorts of fucking nightmarish beings just showing up and fucking ravaging all of humanity. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome! And just big old thumbs up and stuff like that. But those kind of games to me are just cool as hell. And everybody's like, oh yeah, that's Alpha Omega Sin. But the Clock Tower games are one of those franchises that I never got to talk about all that much on this channel. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go and talk about it, because the spiritual successor to it is NightCry. And the NightCry, which was actually called Project Scissors for quite a while, I was actually going to make a video about it a little bit ago whenever it was first talked about, but there wasn't much information on it. Now we have a little bit more, so fuck it, now I can go make a full-length video on it. So NightCry is actually being helmed and developed by a whole bunch of people that had worked on the Clock Tower games to begin with. That alone set a lot of my worries at ease, because there's a lot of times whenever you see somebody go and take on a project and they aren't familiar with it and it doesn't have any of the original creators from it, especially when you're a longtime fan, makes you worry that they're going to take it in a completely different direction, or they're just going to fucking water it down and ruin it. And it's like, no, please do not do anything like that. That'd be fucking horrible. Don't make me fucking hate you. But this right here, NightCry, is being made by the Clock Tower team. And in addition, if you're familiar with Ju-On or The Grudge or anything like that, the dude behind those is actually working on this. In addition, the monster designer from the original Silent Hill games is also working on this. That's literally like a big fucking Triforce that kick ass, or I'm like, that shit right there is fucking badass. All sorts of fucking radical tits just with that news alone. I'm like, okay, this is all good. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. So essentially right now we have another entry into the series, which, keep in mind that I've been into the franchise for a long time. My very first game that I got to play with in the Clock Tower games was the first one on PlayStation, just aptly titled Clock Tower. And what I didn't know was that there was actually a Clock Tower game before that on Super Famicom, and that was also called Clock Tower, which they didn't release outside Japan, which was fucking dumb. Luckily, fans went and translated that shit, released it through the world of emulation, and I got to play it that way. As a matter of fact, if you ever get bored and you watch JonTron, which if you don't, you fucking should, because his reviews are awesome, he actually did a review of that, which is pretty cool, so go check that out if you're kind of curious about the game, or just download ROM and play it for yourself. It's a little point and click, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die no matter what the hell I do, and it's a lot of trial and error, trust me. But anyway, so there's that, which, you know, here, I can actually prove that a little bit of fan. So, and I've made a video of me unboxing this if you ever get bored, want to check it out. So Clock Tower, the actual like reproduction card of it, makes me happy. Oh yeah. But got that, the original Clock Tower, which it took me a long ass fucking time to be able to get this game back because I had traded away a long time ago. Yes, immediately regretted that decision. The follow-up, which is Clock Tower 2, Struggle Within. This game is a lot goofier, I feel. I don't take it nearly as serious as the original. The original fucking scared the shit out of me. There were so many times I was hiding somewhere, a motherfucker found me and killed me. I'm just like, why? Clock Tower 3, no, keep in mind, Clock Tower 3, which I wanted to like this game a whole lot, and that's really the truth. I wanted to like this, but the thing is, I just don't feel like it's nearly as good. I don't know what it is about the game, just don't like it as much. Not that it's a bad game, it's just, I guess I had a higher standard for Clock Tower games, and this just didn't meet that. And lastly, the title in it, which most people don't know it's a Clock Tower game, but it really is, and that's Haunting Ground. And Haunting Ground is the shit. I've mentioned this quite a few times whenever talking about obscure random fucking PlayStation 2 games. You know, those Diamonds in Rough that most people just overlooked or didn't hear about altogether. Haunting Ground is the shit and is fucking awesome in general. And the reason why I've always liked these games is because they don't just load you up with a shitload of fucking military like arsenal. And it's like, here's everything. Here's your flamethrowers. Here's your machine guns. Here's your grenades. Here's your knives. Here's all your fucking weapons. Mow down and obliterate and eliminate every single fucking posable threat that's in front of you. And it doesn't even matter. Lay waste to everything. If it has a pulse, kill it. But Clock Tower, no, they're just like, run, bitch, run, run, you didn't fucking run it. Death, and that's it, that's all that you have. is you're trying to solve murders and mysteries and all sorts of other shit, not like Scooby-Doo, because nobody ever fucking dies and knows. That would be a nice spin if people were actually getting fucking off left and right and stuff. Yeah, just throwing it out there. But Clock Tower games, that's what it was all about. Just run the fuck away. Now we have NightCry, and NightCry essentially seems like it's going to take that formula and run with it even further. So what they want to do is they want to put you on a ship right in the middle of the ocean, so you already know that you're fucked because you can't leave this. And that's a lot of games have been doing that lately. Resident Evil Revelations did that. I think Revelations 2 is doing that, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that an island? I forget off the top of my head. But anyway, Cold Fear. Or was it Cold Fear? Pretty sure it was Cold Fear that did that as well. Huh. Yeah, that's strange. Oh well. So you're fucked because you're in the middle of the ocean and a whole bunch of bizarre murders have occurred and you're there to go and solve them. But it also turns out that some really bad shit's happening because Sister Man, who traditionally all the characters that they've ever had come after you in the Clock Tower games, usually it was like some kind of physical presence that was a human at least. And unfortunately, that's not going to be the case with this because the monster design that they showed for the new modern Scissor Man within NightCry was fucking horrifying. Okay, to begin with, it looks like some kind of shadowy type root, whatever branch, I don't know, it's just fucking forming into a humanoid and then had these big ass fucking shears and was just coming in like that. And that made me think of all sorts of awful possibilities, considering the fact that Scissor Man would follow you from room to room, area to area, and you would just hide. Just imagine all the places that this fucking thing could come out of. I mean, if it's able to go and shapeshift and move around the way that it does, be able to come out of vents, it'd be able to come up out of floor, be able to come out of fucking faucets and stuff, go right through windows and shit. Just, no, slow motion, no. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that shit, but I'm gonna get the game so I can deal with that kind of shit, because that makes me happy. But this right here, that's about all the information that we have on it so far. They haven't actually talked about the control scheme, whether or not it's going to be point and click like the old school games, or like with Haunting Ground and Clock Tower 3, where you can actually control the character and run around all over the place. They did announce that it's going to be on PlayStation Vita, Android, I think it'll be on iOS, I forget off the top of my head. But I'm hoping that they end up trying to make this available on actual consoles and on PC and stuff. Because that right there would make a hell of a lot of sense. Matter of fact, third on the 3DS too. The more platforms, the better, because games like this, like, I'm always happy that people are checking out certain games, which, by the way, if you haven't tried the Clock Tower games, you really should. And if you're like, whoa, Clock Tower's expensive, just download a fucking ROM of it. Yes, go download it illegally. That's a way to go and experience it. They're seriously fun-ass games. And with the PlayStation ones, you want the PlayStation mouse. Dear fucking God. No shit, not even fucking kidding. I got a PlayStation mouse just so that I can play that game a lot easier. No fucking joke. Also helps with, like, the little RTS games that they have on there. But anyhow. But NightCry, I can't wait for this. I'm happy that I get to talk about it. So Project Scissors, now known as NightCry, is going to be coming out. And it's just... I'm happy that Nude Maker is actually together making a game like this, and I hope that it does well. And for all the survival horror junkies out there, which I know that there's many that are subscribed to this, if you haven't checked out any of the Clock Tower games, check them out. If you're just bored, check them out. If you do like them a whole bunch, then share this information. More people should know about NightCry, because I notice nobody's really talking about it. So fuck it, this will be a good way to get people invested into an old school franchise that's been around for a long time, and is unfortunately kind of overlooked, despite the fact that it's like overflowing with quality. But anyhow, this is Alpha Omega Sin, as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.